All right, this is Goodman. I am back with another Section 8 video. So we are going to go over why do you not evict people? Why have you never evicted anyone? And that all starts right now. So I've done Section 8 rentals for 6 years almost. I think at the end of this year will be six, or no, at the end of this year will be 7 years. And I have never evicted any tenant of mine, ever. Never done it. I never, ever do it. I haven't even started the process of doing it. The reason why is if I go do an eviction, let's say I go put the little notice on their door, I give them another 10 days. I go to the courthouse and file for the eviction, and I do all this stuff. Okay, it's going to cost me like minimum $2,500 with lawyer fees, with court fees, with all the other stuff I got to do. And then I get the tenant out probably, right? Probably. Not saying that it might work. Think about the COVID times when no one was getting evicted, right? That was a problem. It was a stupid problem that was created by the government, but you know what? It was still there. There's nothing we really could do about it, and that's fine. But with the eviction stuff, you just look at it and you have that problem with government being the one that screws it up with what they did during COVID. You have the money that goes to the lawyers and to the courts and to the time. 3 months of time just taken away because you're going to do an eviction. And I just don't, I think it's very stupid. It's very it's short-sighted in my opinion. So if I'm going to spend a minimum of $2,500, let's say a minimum of $1,500, why don't you just try this? This is what I've done for many years now. I've done it about 5 or 6 times. It works. It works every time for me so far. I do have a buddy of mine. He's up in Connecticut. He did an eviction, and he said this didn't work for him. I don't know how much he offered the guy, and that's one thing I'm not privy to. I'm not going to ask him, hey, how much did you offer him? But he said the guy just wouldn't take it, so he had to do an eviction, all that good stuff, which sucks. And sometimes it's probably gonna happen to me at some point, but at this time it hasn't. So what I do is I do cash for keys. So there's a movie called 99 Homes, fantastic movie if you're getting into real estate or you like real estate kind of drama movies. That's a really good movie to watch. I've watched it about like 5 or 6 times. I can't remember. I think it was my mentor back, and I know the word mentor, whatever. He was actually my mentor. Like I went and worked for him, not had him across the country paying him $500 to just tell me that I'm a cool guy. So he told me, he's like, dude, watch this video or this movie. It's a really good movie. And so I was on a plane coming back, I think from California, and after I was seeing family, and was in the middle of the plane. I was like, you know what? I have that video on my laptop. I'm gonna watch it. So I watched the whole thing. Dude, changed my life in the perspective of the eviction versus cash for keys. Cash for keys, if you don't know, is really it's just you getting them to sign a piece of paper which says like, hey, you're gonna move out in the next 5 days. You're gonna keep it. It's gonna be broom clean in the house. You're gonna have all your stuff out. You're gonna turn over the keys, and when you do, you're gonna get X amount of dollars. Right? Pretty simple. Now, the way that I do it is I will always start with like a tenant. I always I'm like thinking like your moving costs, your this, your that. I'm gonna pay for those. So I usually start about $500 and see if they'll take that. That's usually the amount that they'll take is 500. If you think about it, if you go up to even 2,500, you didn't waste the 3 months of no rent. You spent 2,500. The tenant's out, and now you can re-rent it. So to me, no matter what the amount of money is, up to the point of it being an eviction, I probably would pay it. I probably would pay past it just because I don't want to do an eviction. Evictions take time. Time is money. We all talk about that. We all make the whatever. Oh yeah, time is money. Yeah, we say it all the time. But is it really in our brains that it is money? Like it actually is. We need to be saving our time, especially as landlords. Like you gotta get your cash flow going. It's gotta get back in sync. So you need to get those people out. I always go to them. I just say, hey, look, you're not paying your rent or you're not moved. There's one lady, she was running a brothel out of her house. It was one of the first videos I took that I was like, I need to just start putting this on social media, like on TikTok, on Instagram, all that good stuff. She was running a brothel out of her side of a duplex that I own. And I walked in there. I remember it. And she was like, "Yeah, my refrigerator doesn't work anymore." I walked in there and I'm like, "Your refrigerator's the only thing we're talking about?" There was like caked on mud on the ground. We were using scrapers to get it up. There was garbage everywhere. The rotten apples, stuff thrown on the walls. I mean, we're talking the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. This lady would not move out. Just wouldn't. I don't think it was 2020. No, it had to have been. It was past COVID time because that was the reason why she wasn't getting out. They weren't doing inspections. So if they'd done the inspection on her house, they would have been like, "Yeah, this lady, you're way out. This is ridiculous." She had 2 kids living there too. Absolutely horrendous. Um, it was just a ton of stuff, and she wouldn't move out. And then I said, "I need you just to move out. Like you're not, you don't need to stay here anymore. I mean, I'm getting your rent payments and stuff, and that's great, but you've destroyed this site. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get this fixed." And I said, "I mean, what's going to get you out?" And she's like, "Well, I mean, I can't pay the deposit at the new place because she'd already found a new place to go, but she just wasn't moving out." And I said, "Well, how much is the deposit?" And she said, "Oh, it's $500." And I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." I said, "I'll write you a check for $500 right now." And I said, "But I got to go down there and pay it for you." So I had to drive down to the property manager office. I had to give them a cashier's check for her deposit. And then she was like, "Okay," and I'll sign the papers and I told her, "You don't have to leave at Broomkling, just get out." And she's like, "Okay, cool, I'm leaving everything." She left everything. I'm gonna probably I'll put the TikTok in here right here, what it looked like when I got in there, and then what it looked like after about 6 days. So let's go and watch that now.
This Section 8 tenant lived here for only 1 year. After 6 hard days of work, we got it back to move in shape.
So as you can see, it was absolutely disgusting. Went through it in about 5 or 6 days. We got it back, and because I just sat there and worked with my brother-in-law for like hours and hours a day getting it done. But we got her out, and we got it cleaned, and we got a new person in. But the cash for keys method worked. If I had done that with an eviction, you're talking 3 months of me having to have her in that house, paying the money to get her out, and then also potentially having Section 8 be like, "Well, we're not paying you any more money. Like, we're not paying you the rent. You're evicting her." So, I mean, like, that's not okay. So cash for keys is a great way to get your tenants out of your house. They get cash. They're happy about that. I guarantee, especially if you do Section 8 HUD properties, you give them some cash and they'll be out. That's just the way the world works, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like it, I don't really care. Give them some cash. They'll be super happy. They'll get out. And you don't have to sit there, take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. For some people with COVID, 3 years to get someone out of a house, right? 3 months is all is what it used to be. 3 years now, I don't even know how much it is now because I don't do it. I can get you out in 5 days. I'll give you cash. I'll get you help with getting a U-Haul out here. I'll get your stuff out. I'll give you the time, and then we move on with our lives. You go do your thing, I'll go do my thing, and we won't see each other ever again. If you've got rental properties, think about it. Think about doing it. You're going to save yourself time. You're going to almost always save yourself money. And if not, you'll spend the same amount of money, but you're saving the time, and the time costs so much. Okay? Time costs so much in real estate. Every month that you're not making that rent is a problem, and your cash flow is problematic at that point. You have a dead asset on your sheet. It's a liability. That's what it is. And so you got to get back into the green. Get back into the cash. Figure it out. This is the way to do it. Never have I done an eviction. Only cash for keys. I hope that you've learned something with this video. I hope that it's helpful. If it is, please like the video. Please subscribe. I really do appreciate everyone watching these videos. It really means a lot. It does. I sit here, make these things for fun. I also have my job of being a landlord and running everything. I'll do a video about managing my own properties and things like that. kind of like this, a nice little sit down. But I just hope I'm giving you some sort of valuable information that you can look at and be like, you know, maybe I'll do it that way a little bit. That's what I use YouTube for. I find valuable things in the comments. I find valuable things in videos where I'm like, that little tidbit can save me a lot of time. So I hope this one will help you out, all you landlords out there, especially the ones doing Section 8 stuff. Cash for keys, forget the eviction. Eviction's for the old school. Cash for keys is for the new age, guys. Anyway, with that, this is Goodman signing off, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
This is Goodman back with another Suck It Up!